Hi, my name is Damita Chatman, and I'm back again. It's a long day, but God is good. And so I want to thank the pastor for allowing us to get over here today at 12 something to get started, and it's just amazing. And so right now we have the Senator Donzella James, what I did earlier, Senator James, we went into a moment of silence for Congressman. We're not going to do it with you because at the close of the day, we're going to have the pastor say a prayer. And I know you won't be here, but the Representative Glaze will be here. And so we're going to do that. I want to thank Senator James for coming out. Her questions won't be like the young man that was running for office, because she's in office, and so I'm going to call her Senator James, and she won't get the same question. She's going to get basically like what Representative Bazemore did, what took place down at the Gold Dome. So I'm going to give her a minute to say something, because if we're not on time, they kick us out. So we don't give her enough time. By the time we get done, she's going to say, ooh, I'm ready to go home. So Senator James, we'll give you a minute to announce yourself.
Hello, good evening. I'm Senator Donzella James, and I'm just so honored to represent you. And I've represented you for many years, so thanks for continuing to put your trust in me as your senator, now of the 28th district, formerly of the 35th district, but redistricting changed a lot of things.
Yes, it did.
In fact, I don't have all of South Fulton area anymore, but I do still have 17 precincts, so that's pretty good. And this is where I live, where I worked, and I played, and I raised my children. And unfortunately, my late husband is resting in power and peace right now. But he had all these years too in this area.
Thank you so much, Senator James. Thank you for your service. And before I go, I have to make this clear, because you know how folks see social media.
Yes.
They're putting I call a topper on her street where she lives, and it's like a little name on top of the name of the street. I'm going to say congratulations to the topper.
Thank you.
But I'm a little selfish, and you know Damita gonna tell the truth. I believe you deserve the whole street.
Thank you. Well, they are going to do the whole street of this toppers.
Yeah.
Because many of the people, I understand, said that they have been using the street number and name,
and it costs money
to change their address.
And I get that. But I would have paid a little bit to have that, but I would like to see your name on something. I believe in giving you flowers while you live. Don't wait till you're dead and then say, oh, Senator James, because she can't smell, she can't say anything, she can't hear, she can't see that, she can't see nothing. And Senator James knows me, I'm going to shoot straight from the hip. Whatever I say today, I tell Senator James, and still say I love her. I believe you deserve much more.
I appreciate that, but I was very deeply honored and humbled to find out that they wanted to do anything, because usually being a legislator or any other office is a thankless job. So for them to say they wanted to thank me for all the hard work that I've given and trying to put this city together and
Absolutely.
et cetera, I was amazed and pleased.
Yeah, Senator James said that and I know she just deserved, and she just appreciated, and I ain't gonna steal her thunder.
Thank you.
But politics is something else.
Oh yes, I know.
Oh yeah, when you looking for some campaign and some votes, you do good things. I believe in Senator James, when you do good all the time, you ain't got to wait till election season. Let's get on into this show. Senator James, let me senators is under the gold dome?
It's 54 more than me. I'm 55.
55.
It's 180 House members
Okay,
and 55 of us in the Senate,
okay,
the higher level.
okay. How long you been a senator, then, Senator James?
Well, it's hard to answer that because I was there 8 years and left for 10 years.
And come back.
And I offered myself to serve when Cassine Reed was going to run for mayor of Atlanta early, so it was still a year left in his term. So I got back, my husband was still alive, but he was on dialysis, and so I didn't want to travel the world while my husband was here sick. So I came for that, and they knocked on my door the second day I was home and asked me if I'd run. And I did, and out of all those folks, I ended up winning. It wasn't me, it was God. It was
Amen.
God be the glory.
Being a servant is something else, ain't it, Senator James?
Yes, and you have to be obedient when he calls.
Absolutely.
And that's just basically what I did, and then I've been there ever since.
And being a senator and the people's people, and you got to deal with Damita Chatman and her foolishness, and you got to deal, and then you still got to be a senator. So being a servant is something else.
It's the good, the bad, and the ugly sometimes, but you know what? You get that in so many other professions too. They say you're a professional candidate, political person. I don't think about all that. All I know is as long as I can help somebody.
I'm going to share her stuff with her. Why? That's why I'm looking at my phone again. I'm going to go on. One thing I can say about Senator James, and I believe in telling the truth on the folks, and the game right if you want. Being an elected official, Senator James, and dealing with me, I'm saying me, I ain't saying about her dealing with me, and sometimes the meter get in her flush and she forget and then, I have never ever seen you be disrespectful to nobody. Even when the meter get mad and say some things, you have never ever been disrespectful.
And I never will.
You just
I'm
keep on,
trained to-
you just keep on doing what you do. I wish other elected officials was like that. What's wrong?
I don't know, but I take the job seriously. In order to do the job, you have to put your energy into it and not on trivial things or what he said, she said, they said. I'll never listen to that. I just move forward. And as long as the people want me, as long as God keep directing me and giving me strength and power, I want to continue to serve.
Amen. Senator James, going back, I'm trying to make sure that you're on the thing up there, because maybe I don't see it, but let me see. I'm going to first talk about when you fought for cityhood. Give us just a little bit piece, because see, some people don't know that history, and then some people tell tales.
I worked so many years trying to get cityhood. And then I left for a while. When I came back, it still wasn't done, but they had taken Chattahoochee Hills out of our package and just passed that. I still wanted to make sure we get our fair share of our tax dollars, and they were going to Fulton County. So I continued to work on the city. We had some new people that had come, so new fresh blood, and we had the other ones who had already been working on it. So I joined back in, and we were able to eventually pass it. But it was uphill, downhill, and everything else. And then we were only trying to put it on the ballot so all the people could vote for whether they wanted the city, whether they were going to call it the city of South Fulton or whatever. It's still God's country to me. So whatever they wanted to do was okay with me, as long as we took our tax dollars with us so we could have control over what happened to them.
Senator James, when we were fighting for cityhood, and people don't understand, some people say, well, we should have stayed in Atlanta. First of all, we were never in Atlanta.
No.
And I often say this, and maybe you can agree with me. I said, if you thought Atlanta did anything for Bankhead, they had to pass Bankhead to get to us, and if they didn't do nothing for Bankhead, I ain't even got to go to Bankhead, they didn't do too much for Campbellton Road. Do you think they were gonna come out here and do something for us, Senator James?
We have been asking and fighting and begging for a long, long time, and no, they did not do it then, and it was unlikely that they were gonna do anything now, then. But you know, the thing is, we have to keep asking and asking and asking.
That's right.
So when they said, okay, we'll do a little something here for council, and, oh, if they still didn't do it, we had to become a city in order to have some input in what happened to our tax dollars.
Do you regret doing that fight? Because we went to many meetings
Oh, yeah.
for some years, every night. Do you regret it?
I do not regret it. You know, people, they have growing pains everywhere.
Yeah.
Look at when Sandy Springs and some of those other cities struggle. They struggled for years. So we have to, if they want to compare the city of South Fulton with anyone else, they should look at these cities that had started before us.
Okay.
And we are far ahead of them now. So it depends on, you know, what measuring stick you're using up or what weight you gotta look, you know, for what you're looking for.
Okay.
And I think that now we're moving forward, and we're getting a lot of new development here. And at the time we were first fighting for the city of South Fulton, we had more undeveloped land than anywhere in the metropolitan area of 18 different counties.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have a lot, but not that much because we have people now and communities that have grown. That's why I had to work for the HOA to try to stop premature HOAs.
Yeah, well, we gonna talk about that HOA bill.
It's a mess.
We gonna talk about that HOA bill.
Okay.
Being a senator, as long as you have, don't you think you have to work across the aisle if you want to get something done?
That's the only way you can get it done, because we're the minority. So you have to, you know, and everything shouldn't be partisan. And I try to make relationships with the other party on everything that is everybody's education, you know, and I'm on that committee. Appropriations, I'm on that committee. That's the budget, and that's the main reason that we have sessions in the first place. You gotta balance the budget every year. And that's why we have the 40 days, and that's why once it's balanced, we can get out less than 40 days.
I saw in the news, either the end of last week or maybe Monday, that Governor Kemp is thinking about calling you guys back to session.
Yes, I know, because what was it? You know, first we had paper ballots, and then they fought so hard to put billions of dollars into a system of machines. And they knew the pros and cons then. And nothing is perfect. And really, the paper ballots had more problems than the machines. But now, powers to be, who are in the majority party, decided we gotta go back because they think they could have found 11,000 more votes for the person up in Washington right now had we had paper ballots, because it's easier to sneak in something. But no, so they're gonna get rid of the machines and go back to what we had in the first place. So that's what happened.
So you can say, you ain't got to answer this because you're on the ballot and I don't want folks to say, but talking about these machines, and I know some people gonna get mad down here in the city of South Fulton because I'm saying what I'm saying, but I believe in what I believe in. This is all just about this election in November.
Yes, you know, that's what I thought since January, when we were having all these bills come before us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you know, everybody has to run this year, whether you're on the state level or in the House or the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was politics. A lot they probably want a paper ballot, but they wanted something to run on because they have not been the ones necessarily putting the good legislation and laws in, but they take them from us, you know, a Democrat can introduce something and they won't take it out of the committee that they assign it to. And the committees that they assign it to don't have anybody that's Democrat or that look like me. So, except mine. They gave me, Urban Affairs and Core Committee. Before that, I had, Interstate Corporation. I still the co-chair of that one. So, they did see that they had to put some people in there. And they knew that I wasn't gonna just be quiet. So they gave me a committee. I was gonna use it for the people. And that's what I've been able to do.
So let's talk about it because you was my senator at District 35.
Yes.
And in order, maybe I was wrong, maybe I didn't see something, but in order for them to get the votes right, what they did the same thing to your district that they did to the former late Commissioner Emma Darnell and the former Mayor and Commissioner Bill Edwards. They divided that city up to divide the votes up. Is that correct?
That's exactly what that happened.
Okay.
It's not that it may have happened, it happened.
It happened.
Yes. But you know, they gerrymandered a whole lot of things, and then they would vote not to be able to debate certain bills.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of them.
Mm.
So when we got to it, we still tried to get up there and say something, but we couldn't ask questions.
Next question.
So unfortunately, when the dust settled, they had, my district looked like this. They changed my number from 35 to 28, but I still have a good 60% of the old district.
So tell me, what district, what area you cover now?
I still have some of South Fulton, like some of the city, and all of the Chattahoochee Hills, and most of Palmetto, and a little sliver of Union City and Fairmont, even though they say I don't, because the part that I do have is commercial,
Okay.
and so it's no people.
Okay, but it's still in your district.
That's right, I have all of Douglas County except for Villa Rica, and I don't have any more. It's a railroad track right in front of City Hall, in that area. I don't have.
Is that on the Bankhead Road?
Yeah, that part too, yeah. I have the Bankhead Veterans Memorial,
Okay.
but I don't have the park that goes across the
I don't
road.
know this time, I be being nosy, riding, looking.
It's,
Okay.
and then I also inherited something I've never had, Cobb County. So I have Austell, Mapleton, Smyrna, a little bit of Marietta, a little bit of the Diamonds, and God knows what else.
I got some folks that just moved up there. I got some kin folks that live up there, and they from Ohio. They ain't been down here that long.
But I sure would love to meet them.
They live up there in Cobb County.
I've been fighting.
Let's talk about this HOA bill, and I'm going to say, you know, I was an HOA president for 13 years. And I was told that what's in this bill, and you can correct it if it's not, what's in this bill is if somebody owed money for 4 years, then when they hit that 4-year mark, they can erase that balance and start over. Is that in that bill?
No, it's not.
Well, that's why I asked you, because I want you to tell me.
That's right. In fact, you wouldn't even had any problem because you did well.
Thank
And
you.
your it's for predatory HOAs.
Okay.
Not many HOAs do a good job,
Yes, they
but
do.
it's a lot of them that have corruption and fraud. They are putting frivolous liens on people, and most of it don't have anything to do with the dues.
Mhm.
Those people can pay that religiously and on time. They can even own their own property now and not pay any house note or anything. But they in HOA, they have to pay that, and when they do, then you gotta abide by everything they want you to abide by.
Mhm.
If you put a big snowman in your yard for the Christmas decoration, and it doesn't comply with the little bitty things that your charter say you can have,
You had to take it out.
gotta take it out. They'll give you $1,000 fine, and if you haven't done it in 5 days or 7 days, it's $100 a day until you get
Well,
it.
see, those what you call, those are board members that's, don't know their rules, I call them rogue board members.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Rogue board members.
I agree.
And so, you came many a times when I was president out there, and it was never Damita as the president. We have 4 board members with me as 5, and it was all us that did it.
And on top of that, y'all even had meetings. Some of these people don't have meetings.
Yeah, but I don't know what they doing now, because I stepped away, but we made sure that we went by the book. And what I tell people, Senator James, that the covenants, the bylaws, and the CCRs, that is really your Bible. And if you go by that, and if your board of directors stay within that, you can't go wrong.
But you know what? They make up the rules as they go along. They'll change things and say that, oh, we had a meeting and all of y'all didn't come, so we voted to take this out and change this.
Yeah,
Whatever.
see, what people don't know, it take a percentage to do that. And that's why I tell people, you have to know and understand what you're getting in. HOA is not, for everybody, Senator
No,
James.
It's not.
And you don't live in a HOA.
Thank God.
And I love where you live. When we get tired of our HOA, we gonna go and get us something outside. But when we did our HOA, Senator James, we did it because we didn't want to wake up one morning and Billy over there and painted his house purple and got goats and chickens running and cars parked on the grass. That's the good thing about the HOA.
That's the good thing, but then many of the things that you're talking about, code enforcement was supposed to go and
Absolutely.
stop them. And maybe not painting the house first, but if your covenants say make it uniform,
That's right.
and then this is what they're getting a lot of people on. Oh, you painted your shutters black, and the wooden part of the house. I know it's brick, but some of the wooden part is black like the shutters. So changing that. They get, if once you get $2,000 worth of fines, and that can be one fine and extra late fees on it, then they can go and sell your house on the courthouse steps.
What,
But they can't with this bill we just passed.
Well,
Let's stop foreclosing on that.
let's say it. People that is in POAs, they can foreclose on your
Oh,
house.
no, it includes.
Okay, but I haven't read your bill now, but HOAs could never, could never foreclose. And with
But
people,
they were doing it.
I don't know,
I don't know how, but they were doing it.
I can only speak
Because they
to.
have no real rules
But see,
on the books.
but see,
of the state.
if I'm living in the community and the HOA take my house, when I got done suing the HOA, they would never take another house again because the HOA. But that's why people have to understand. And then an old man told me, and you know him, Mr. Rainey, on the board, and I know that, he used to tell me, Madam President, you got to understand the policies and procedures in the Robert Rules of Order.
Oh, yes. There you go.
Let's talk.
He told you
Right.
right. But
I got
they don't observe that either.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it until I had 5 hearings.
Wow.
People from all 159 counties in Georgia came. I thought it was just gonna be our little neighbors up here. Oh, heck no.
Wow.
And we had them over and over. We always had standing room only.
Wow.
And believe me, I heard one horror story after another. Just in disbelief that this.
Road board members, road board members.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, Senator James. How do you feel about all these investors coming in our communities?
That is the main reason that the predatory HOAs are doing what they're doing. Because they want to take the house, but not for themselves. They want to take the houses, they want to take those houses from the management company. Do you know that they're mostly the only ones who are purchasing these people's foreclosed houses.
They got the
And
money.
and they go and they buy it, and it belonged to these corporate, people or, international folk who they buying up all of America, but they're doing it in Georgia easily.
But don't you think it's some folks down at the Capitol under that gold dome is part of this monopoly?
Well, let me put it like this, there's a lot of them
Yeah.
that don't believe, they say affordable housing, you need to afford a house, you just go buy it. What do you want us to go down, and materials cost so much, and X, Y, and Z? Then you find out they're landlords. Many of them have bought houses, put it in Airbnb, or they renting them to people. And the rent has doubled, tripled, and quadrupled in the state of Georgia. And they're continuing to raise it because there's no rent control in the state of Georgia. So I've been trying to abolish that law and let every county have the control. I think local control is better than anything else.
Let's touch about mental health.
Uh,
How do you feel about this mental health thing?
It's real. It's something that's probably been going on for a long time, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. So they just ignore it, but you can't ignore it. My grandson is autistic. He's 14 now. He lives in Douglas County. But when he was nonverbal in the second grade, and I knew something was wrong with him. And mamas and daddies sometimes be in denial, like my son and his wife were, because they had an older son that was in the gifted program. He's doing everything. But Bryce was walking on his tiptoes and frailing his arms as he come to find out he just had autism. I got the insurance companies to pay for screening. And I did that back then. It was Casey Cagle was our lieutenant governor. And that was one thing he wanted also. So together we did a lot of great things for autism, for dyslexia, for kids with special needs on every level. And I did something this time, and thank God it passed. I wasn't the first time, Strickland was, because he was a Republican with a high office. He's running for something on the state level now. But he has a little boy that's autistic. So we work together, and now your tag on your car can have a little code on it. So whenever a police or anybody look that tag up, it'll say either artistic or one of the special needs. But they point out autism because we fought so hard to put that on.
That's awesome.
It's either driving this car or riding in this car. And that's to protect those people, because I know that if I read it, you probably have too, about over the past 6 years,
Yes.
how the police get our kids and get them out the car and throw them for nothing most of the time. And then an autistic child might, no matter how good they might be, they get nervous and they trying to get their phone out to call the mama,
And something can happen.
and they think you getting a gun or something, and they start beating them.
Never thought about that.
It's so sad, but I know about 2 that lost their life. Plus, we put the veterans who come back here from war, and they have mental challenges as well. What is it? PB, what?
PSDT.
That's it. But they have that, we put that on there as well.
Okay.
So now, at least we got a little protection. These people from Maryland wanted us to do a Harris law where they had passed it in Maryland and in 8 other states, where your driver's license would have a code on it that said this person is autistic or whatever. Oh, I think they only wanted autism. But I had already tried to get one for Georgia ID card, which people who don't drive or can't drive anymore have to have. It's an official. And I wanted all of that on there, so I was so happy when I heard that Maryland had passed one just for autism. And I met the young man. He came down here trying to help us pass the meds.
Wow.
I mean, whereas autism is something that does not go away,
No, it don't.
you can treat it, and this young man was on the high spectrum, and he didn't start off on that spectrum. They got him therapists and doctors and love from his family.
Amen.
Love and
Love go a long way.
It go all
Love go a long way.
Yes, goodness.
Let's talk about this homeless population. When I know you've been down in your area for a long, long time, and I've just been down since 2005. But when I moved down here, I didn't see a lot of folks in our area standing on the corners or sleeping in the parks and sleeping in cars. But now we got a problem.
And a lot of them get tents from somewhere, and they be in the woods behind our houses.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we have a homeless problem. I've always, I don't know if you remember one of the state reps named Abel Mabel.
Yes, yes.
Well, the two of us had a crusade way back in the 90s where we were fighting downtown, had so many homeless. And I think that Atlanta was like the Mafia of the United States. They told, if you homeless, go to Atlanta. So they went downtown, and so then they didn't get food they needed or anything. So we worked with the homeless community. And it continued to get worse. But Atlanta was mad, so they were continuing to close up these areas that had them, but they just moved to something else.
Wait a minute, do you think all these warehouses that we got, Amazon just closed a warehouse down? What about if we can open a homeless shelter in one of them warehouses? Would that make good sense? Senator James?
In my opinion, yes. And this is something we wanted some of the abandoned buildings and things to be used. And I said, okay, well, start at least. They didn't want to do it. Start at least with mothers with children, or families.
Right.
Whole families are out here. And let's do them first. And it didn't work too well, but it was a group that I joined called Tapestry. And so mothers of children who were these mothers had to be under 21.
Okay.
If they had to, because I got religious groups and Southern Christian Baptists also to support this, by them being that they wanted them to go to one of their churches or Bible study, but they would get them really nice houses where maybe no more than 4 of the ladies lived with their child. They furnished everything. It was beautiful. Many of those kids come up to me now and say, "You are really Donzella James? You were on Tapestry. Thank you." I'm finished in high school now. I couldn't get to school then because I had no address.
Look, I think the next person is here, Senator James.
Okay.
And I know that you had an emergency come up.
Yes.
And if I don't stop then I can't get them in. I'm going to get you back even if we meet somewhere. And I just want to talk about what you do and so forth. In your closing remarks, give us your pitch why folks should vote for you. And
okay. Again, I'm Donzella James, and I am District 28 Senate. But I care for the people and not the politics. People come first with me. The children come first with me. And I want to continue what we started. It's a lot of good things that have been happening, but we need to enhance them or do new things, especially with those who are being abused, domestic violence. And also, we still have human trafficking going on around here. So I was maybe the first to start doing this, but it doesn't care to be the first or the last, as long as we work together to resolve this in our communities and save those young people. So please vote Donzella James, District 28, State Senator. I want to be your state senator again. Thank you very much.
thank you, Senator James. Early voting started Monday, and I'm gonna leave this with you before you go. Know before you go. Know who's on the ballot. Know that it's on the ballot. Know when to vote. Just know before you go. I want to thank Senator James for coming. We're going to take a picture. This is not an endorsement. And so we can get the next candidate in, and then we're going to close it out with Representative Glaze. Again, I want to thank you, Senator James, and we'll be looking out and working with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.